While Sita was insisting on accompanying Ram to Dandakaranya, Lakshman arrived on the scene and wept when he heard the conversation between Rama and Sita. Bending, he caught hold of Rama's feet and said, "Now that you have made up your mind to move to the forest, regardless of the fear of wild animals and the harsh life of a hermit ahead of you, I have decided to accompany you and guard you, walking ahead with a bow and arrow in hand. I shall be there to protect you when you enjoy the natural beauty of the forest, and there to guard you when you need protection from the wilderness. In your absence, I do not even wish to go to Swargalok, to be immortal, or to rule the earth. I wish to be with you." Rama advised his younger brother to stay behind and look after Kaushalya and Sumitra, but the latter did not agree. Ultimately, Rama gave in and asked Lakshman to go and ask for his mother's permission. All three of them distributed their wealth to the Brahmins, writes Valmiki, their staff and the needy. They gave off all their riches, cows, gold coins, silver utensils, and precious stones with the speed of a cloud irrigating parched fields during a cloud burst. Look at the image. To bid farewell to the king, Sita, Ram and Lakshman went to Kaikeyi's chambers. I have included some Rajasthan paintings which are available in the British Library to show this very scene in this video. As the word about Rama going into exile had spread among the people of Ayodhya, writes Valmiki, their path was stopped by many. The rich stood sullen on the rooftops of their mansions. The poor crowded the streets to have a last look at the princess and the adorable Sita. Mark the minuteness of the description, aptness of the description. They appreciated how Rama had upheld the finest traditions of dharma to honor his father's words, but were grieved at their separation. The onlooking women could not help but wonder how much Sita's body, made for perfumes, and her limbs meant to be adorned with colorful motifs and red sandal paste would suffer. This shows the culture of those times in our country. The scorching heat of the summer, the rains, and the winter cold in Dandakaranya would tarnish her glow. They could not understand what Dashrath had done under an evil influence and found it unjustified. Some of them could be heard talking, "Taking our wives and children along, let us accompany Rama to the forest. We shall leave nothing usable behind. Let Kaikeyi rule a wilderness where there is famine, where deserted homes and crumbling walls, broken utensils, and barrenness to be her company. We shall convert the forest where Rama goes into a city where Ayodhya will be reduced to a lifeless, barren city. We shall lead a happy life wherever Rama lives." Dashrath was inconsolable in his grief and looked like the sun eclipsed by Rahu. Valmiki says Dashrath was in a disturbed state of mind and was constantly chanting Rama's name. Addressing him, Sumantra, his confidante and as well as a charioteer, said, "The princes seek your permission to visit you, Maharaja, before leaving for the forest. Have a long look at Rama before he goes away for 14 years. Dashrath stood up, though with difficulty, looked at the princes and fell unconscious again. Everyone present wailed as if the king had given up his will to live. As he revived, Rama sought his permission to leave for the forest. "Father, obeying your orders, I am leaving for Dandakaranya. Kindly allow Lakshman and Sita to accompany me." May you rule over this earth for 1,000 years. Maharaja, I am not interested in being the king. After 14 years, I hope to return to the city. A weeping Dashratha replied, You go in peace for everyone's well-being. I pray that your path be without obstructions and free of harm. My son, Raghunandan, you are an embodiment of truth and a devout person. I have come to understand your selflessness in the past few months and feel like a man devoid of a reason to live. I also know that once you have resolved to go, there is nothing that can change your mind. However, not as the king but as the father, I request you to delay your departure for a day, so that I can look at your face tomorrow also. How touching. I will not survive separation from you, Rama. However, this woman Kaikeyi is dangerous, and in the name of fulfilling my boons, she has cheated me and taken away my reason to live. You ought to be the king, Rama, not only by virtue of being the eldest, but also because of your wisdom. You are the best. Replied Rama, Father, I have given up this kingdom, the people and my kin along with all else. Kindly hand it over to dear Bharata. I cannot change my decision. O Father, who granted the favors to Kaikeyi, do not shed tears of remorse or guilt. The ocean does not get disturbed with the tumultuous currents flowing into it. Bound by propriety, it does not break its shores. A remarkable image. While the streams are coming in, the ocean does not break its shores. They just get dissolved, absorbed. You too should not be upset. I am not desirous of being a ruler, of enjoyment, of Swarga. My only desire is to maintain your honor, my father. I request you to allow us to dwell in the forest and not try to reach us. Don't reach us for 14 years so that our fondness for you does not bring us back for any reason. Looking at the king lying in stupor, Sumantra could not help reprimanding Kaikeyi. Said he, Maharani, you have destroyed the dynasty, and you will be the end of the king, Maharani. As one who has deserted her husband, you are not beyond doing anything evil. No wise man will serve in your kingdom founded on such impropriety. The people of Ayodhya will never see Bharat as their ruler as against Ram. But Kaikeyi was unmoved by this rhetoric, writes Valmiki. Rather, she helped Rama, Lakshman, Sita change into coverings made of bark and deer skin to ready them for departure. Kaushalya took Sita into her arms, embraced her, smelled her forehead in blessing and said, Daughter, the women who, although respected and honored by their husbands all along, do not stand by them in times of distress, are known as untruthful, evil and cruel. On the contrary, a woman of noble conduct looks at her husband and venerates him like God. She stays within the bounds of truth, exemplary character, laws laid by the scriptures, and the restraints imposed by family values. My son Ram, your husband, therefore, deserves your respect. He is like a god to you, whatever be his circumstances, whether he is a king or a pauper. Sita replied, Mother, I am unlike the wives who are disloyal to their husbands and full of untruth. I cannot deviate from my loyalty to my husband just as the moon's luster never deserts him. As a veena cannot be played without strings, or a chariot cannot move without wheels, a woman cannot be happy in the absence of her husband, even if she is the mother of 100 sons. A woman receives solace from her husband, her brother and her son. However, the husband, said Sita, is a source of unlimited anand in this world and the next. How then can a woman ignore him? Please rest assured about your son. I shall be devoted to him in every circumstance. Rama, accompanied by Sita and Lakshmana, left for the forest in a chariot driven by Sumantra, the king's faithful charioteer. A wailing king and a mourning crowd followed their departure. I have included paintings showing all these happenings. None of the houses had any auspicious fire lit, no meals were cooked. The sky was heavily overcast and clouds were scattered by powerful winds, just like the waters of the ocean in high tide. All the cardinal directions were disturbed in the enveloping darkness, as if echoing the loss that Ayodhya and its people witnessed. The men were lost in the thoughts of kingdom's fate, and the women folk were sorrowing for Rama, as if their own son or brother had gone into exile. Valmiki writes, Dashrath seemed to have lost his sight in Rama's absence. He seemed to have grown old overnight and kept spooning at the mere thoughts of separation from Rama. Jai Ram Ji ki, Jai Ram Ji ki, Jai Ram Ji.